Every kingdom begins with a few people around a campfire. Just days ago, this valley was nothing more than wilderness. Now smoke rises from our homes. Our fields are beginning to feed us. And for the first time, life is returning to Cedar Creek. But peace is never permanent. In a land ruled by bandits and tyrants, freedom isn't given. It's built. We had awakened to see that we were victorious in the raid, but at what cost? One thing had become painfully clear. If Cedar Creek was going to survive, we couldn't keep fighting this one raid at a time. Winter was closing in, and every field we planted, every tree we felled, every stone we cleared was another step towards something greater. A village can only grow so far with sharpened sticks and determination. If we were going to challenge the bandits who ruled these lands, Cedar Creek needed to become stronger. We needed walls, tools, and enough food to carry us through winter. And so with that, we got to work. With our new farms placed, the first chill of winter was settling over the valley. And with it, a new problem. After dealing with the bandits that were attacking Cedar Creek, we decided it was time to push out. You see, we were going to need a ton of wheat if we wanted to push into Tier 2, so I set out to take care of the brigands, or maybe not necessarily take care of them, but to steal wheat from them, since they steal food from everyone else. We would take this wheat and turn it into grains to plant our own fields. And that's when I realized, you can't pick this stuff during the winter. I guess that should have registered in my noggin first, so I decided to turn around, go back and harvest these wolves, and at least gather some meat for the village. While out gathering this meat, I decided it might be a good idea to also hunt a boar, which is where our arch nemesis of this episode kicks in. I'm just going to let my suffering play through for you guys. That's right, 2 deaths back to back to the same boar, so I decided I was going to go give a little bandit beatdown to make myself feel a little better. After my tune-up duel with the bandits, I decided it was time to go back for the boar. This time would be the time I kill the beasts. Dear God, I hope so. You know what? I'm tired of fucking with this thing. I'm just gonna get a bow and I'm gonna go shoot it. Alright, with him now out of the way, our lives can resume as normal. Right after I put a piece of him on the campfire. Ah, victory sure smells good. However, we were quickly reminded who the real threat was here. But I decided to take the fight to them, so I was going to go out and scout and see what was going on and how many of them there were. I was able to track down their base, and as I feared, it was a very large, well-fortified position, capable of sustaining many bandits and many patrols. If we were going to make a life here, we would have to take this place out. By the time I was able to march back to camp, winter was fading to spring, and so I went back to gather the troops, and the time for us to strike back at the bandits had finally come. We're splitting our party into two different raiding groups. I decided I was going to go up and I was going to be the distraction that drew the bandits into the trap. But first, we gotta admire the group's flex. Alright, back to business. They ended up not really falling for the trap, so I just charged in some of my best warriors and we took them out. After cleaning up the battlefield, we did discover some interesting information. These were indeed the bandits that had been causing us problems, but there was a bigger issue. You see, we weren't really their main target. They were actually after Bradford and we had just stood in their way. So the only thing left that we could really do was to gather our men and push towards this other camp that could possibly be theirs. If we could stop them, then we could provide security for the valley and rally more people to our cause. After taking one last look around the camp to make sure we hadn't forgot anything, it was clear. It was time to rally the men and women and push out. It seemed like this point on the map was the next most likely stronghold for them. On the way there, we were set upon by another patrol of theirs. We took care of their patrol and began pushing towards the bridge, for just across it was where the place they'd been staging their attacks against us. We had finally arrived and our scouts were giving us a quick report. It turns out this place was as fortified as the last and maybe even better armed, but it wasn't going to stop us from our mission. We had driven the last of them down to the lake. Taking them out had finally secured us victory. After looting the camp, come to find out, these people had turned out to be part of the Royal Army at one time. So what kind of problem were we actually dealing with here? And could we actually handle this ourselves? Only time will tell. But until then, it was back to the settlement to celebrate our small victory in the war to come.